Today, in Breaking Socks.
In latest news, we analyze the current situation in South Africa, in which the Congress has retracted all support from the ex-president Jacob Zuma.
Oh no, help me!
After President Zuma's resignation, the situation in South Africa changed in relation to their foreign policy. Today, we have Surprise Cotton directly in South Africa interviewing Alex Arnold, a leading member of the Congress, to explain the change and aspects affecting this country.
Hello, Mr. Congressman. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for inviting me.
So recently, we have seen that there have been a lot of changes in South Africa's current government. Can you explain a little more in depth about that?
Yes, of course. Well, the resignation of President Jacob Zuma marks the end of an era of one corruption allegation after another, an era of divisions, infighting, and public squabbles. We are looking towards the future with our new president, Cyril Ramaphosa.
And what changes have been brought on by this change of president?
Well, I'll start by mentioning that under Zuma's presidency, perhaps the most notable achievements were South Africa joining the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa grouping in 2011, as well as strengthening South Africa's relationship with China and continued the call for a more representative and equitable governance structure in global multilateral institutions like the World Trade Organization and United Nations Security Council. Ramaphosa has already begun changes to revitalize the South African economy, which has been in decline under Zuma, along with a focus to grow the economy, fix the country's mining sector, address education, create jobs, especially for the youth, and increase investment. Ramaphosa signaled out the potential of the digital industrial revolution.
That's all very good. What initiatives are currently going on to improve the situation?
Well, as you may know, today South Africa still belongs to a process called the Southern African Development Community. This agreement of progress for the southern region of the continent was signed in 1992 and has had fundamental purposes such as the search for peace, security, and economic growth of the African people, improving their quality of life and allowing them to live in a regional integration based on justice, democracy, and fairness.
And how would you describe South Africa's relationships with its neighbors?
South Africa's foreign policy is now centered around international cooperation and interdependence. We have ties with many other countries such as Algeria, Bulgaria, Italy, Libya, Mauritania, Mexico, Morocco, the Netherlands, Singapore, Sweden, Thailand, and Tanzania, who all announced the end of trade sanctions against South Africa in 1991 and 1992, paving the way for full diplomatic relations. Thanks to our development and willingness of leaving our past behind, South Africa has participated in the Security Council for the last years and aspired to be a permanent member of it. Participating in the different United Nations rounds, South Africa wants to become a promoter and defender of the human rights in order to achieve a more democratic international order.
Thank you so much for letting us interview you.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
It's time for
Interesting facts.
Did you know that South Africa is the only country in the entire world that has voluntarily abandoned its nuclear weapons program?
Did you know South Africa is extremely rich in mining and minerals and considered the world's leader with nearly 90% of all the platinum metals on Earth and around?
Did you know that South Africa is home to the highest commercial bungee jump in the world at 710 feet?
In South Africa, it is against the law to sit closer than 2 meters from any individual of the opposite sex. if he or she is using nothing but a swimming suit.
In South Africa, it's called the Rainbow Nation due to its multiculturalism.
Every year, South Africa moves about 2 inches farther away from South America as a subtle continuation of continental drift.
There are 3 official states capitals in South Africa: Pretoria, administrative; Cape Town, legislative; and Bloemfontein, judicial.